You are listening to the Within the Pineapple podcast, a unique lifestyle perspective. This podcast is intended for adult audiences. The views expressed by our hosts belong to just them, the hosts.
Yeah, we're just over here doing pineapple shit.
Nothing from the show should be construed as marital or relationship advice and should be enjoyed best for its entertainment value. And now, the Within the Pineapple podcast, a unique lifestyle perspective.
Hello, all you sexy people. I'm David, your host.
And my name is Paul, I'm the producer and co-host. Welcome back, everybody.
Hell yeah, it's good to be back.
It is. We have been busy and we don't make good on our we're going to get back to it promises, but good God, have things been insane.
No, they really have. We have a whole lot of shit coming down the pipe. It's been going on. Some of the shit we've released, some of the shit we're about to release. We got some, a couple episodes, but we got another, I hope to, get a little bit more into that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, things have definitely been busy. We haven't talked to y'all since around Christmas time.
Just a little after, or before Christmas or around after Christmas.
And so Elation's had some fucking parties. Paul, you want to talk about that a little bit? Because you've had a lot going on, man.
Oh, yeah. Been busy as hell. Been networking with some other clubs as well. So we had our hotel party, which was a blast.
At least
I thought it was fun.
That was fun as shit.
We networked, and so shout out to obviously Xanadu because we did that hotel party with them.
I might have traumatized your security a little bit.
You did a little bit that night.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So shout out to them. Also, we did a combo event locally on location where we normally do our club events. So shout out
to Erotica.
To Club Erotica in Alabama. They came out. It was definitely a really fun night that night.
Yeah, we actually met some other podcasters too. So definitely check them out. It was rated LS.
Yep. So be sure to check them out.
And I think we're gonna get with them. We got, like I said, we got some shit coming up that we really are excited. But once we get through the next couple episodes, I know we actually made plans to do a collab with them, so that ought to be fun. We'll actually get on the mics with all 6 of us, actually.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
There's 4 of them.
So that'll be definitely some crazy wild times. So let's see, there's that. Doing some work over with Pandora's, getting them situated on...
Yeah, that's this coming weekend.
Yep, we have a combo event with them. We are doing their catering. I'm going to be doing DJing a set. I think we've got some of our members coming out there to their location. I'm currently in the process of helping them build their website out so they can be on the ML network as well.
Right. Yeah, so, we've definitely talked about that. That's good and exciting for them and you.
Yeah, so definitely some fun times. I haven't looked at my NDA yet, but I will also say it looks like I might have got a day job.
Sweet.
With a lifestyle website company. Leave it at that. So that's exciting.
Hell yeah.
And of course, we got another hotel party coming up in March.
Dude, yeah.
2-weekend takeover, panels, workshops,
I was gonna say,
things.
We actually got some panels going on, some different workshops and shit. Nothing too crazy, but I think it's a little extra. It's something like when you go out to some of the different, say Play Champagne, say Vibe, or some of the other hotel takeovers. This one is that. But it's a little bit extra. So we're gonna have some things to do during the day.
Yeah. So if you're not too hungover, we got stuff for your day side.
Or if you are too hungover, you just ain't ready to stop partying. That's fine too.
There you go.
But
David, how about yourself?
Well, I was gonna say we actually, speaking of Elations, we actually managed to come. It took a while. You know what I mean? Our schedules was busy as shit the last whatever. So no, we went out to the hotel takeover. That was fucking fun as shit. Like I said, may or may not have traumatized some security officers. I don't know. It's if so, fuck them. They'll get over it. But no, and then cool, dude. We came out here. Like I said, we met everyone from Erotica, and then we've had some. Of course, we still go to chemistry. We've had some great times at chemistry. Kind of a lot's been going on. And then I've been. A lot of my free time, just like I said, my project, I started talking about it a little bit. I think the last episode, and then on an episode it got scrubbed. So I don't remember exactly.
If it actually went out, but we'll just say David's working on a massive lifestyle project.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm getting super close. It's been 5 months straight coding now, and
Got to get this beta out.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome when you
yeah,
do.
it really is. I'm hoping to launch here in the next maybe week or
Soon.
months.
We'll say soon. No timeline.
Yeah,
Soon.
You're right. I keep fucking up timelines.
You do.
Yeah,
Love
you're
buddy.
right. No, you're fine. That's fair. I'm good at a lot of things, but timelines. I'm absent-minded as fuck.
He's working on it.
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of doing the things.
And then we had the ice storm from hell.
Yeah, that kind of fucks shit up.
It's a little hard to record with no power.
Well, yeah. So actually, we've so going back, maybe almost a year now. Easily 6 months to a year. So we've put out there before. Hey, if anyone's got any suggestions, things like that, we'd love to hear them. So one of our listeners actually reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I don't see a lot of things talking about dating in the lifestyle, the do's and don'ts, the hurdles, all the things, And I was talking with her and I was like, or thinking about it, and I'm like, you're absolutely fucking right. Now, so I've been wanting to do an episode about this, and I've wanted to actually ask her and her partner specifically to come on because they're both fucking awesome people, but they have very, very different introductions into the lifestyle. Kind of, it's dude, they just cover a whole fucking spectrum of shit between the two of them. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of them on a personal note. Fucking absolutely love them. They are 100% amazing. It's one of them. If you know them, you know what I'm saying is right. Also on the podcast side of me is like, dude, no, they got like all the motherfucking things going on. You know what I mean? So it's like, God only knows where this episode is going to lead us, So, but this was in the process. Of course, Paul, you started building out Elations. A lot of shit has started going on behind the scenes.
You're working on your project as well.
Oh yeah, because I've been actually doing research for that for over a fucking year now. Some of the skills being used to do it, I started like almost 2 years ago. A year and a half, I guess, maybe a little more accurate. But so we just got really, really busy. So we've been wanting to do a thing. Of course, then we set up a couple dates, I think, now at this point. But we've had ice storms, and it's like, man, it's like the story of our fucking lives. I swear to God. Yeah. I think ice fucked us up too last year, didn't it?
And the year before.
Yeah. Whatever. It's crazy.
I
know we live
winter.
in Tennessee, man. Like this is bullshit. Yeah. Man, we ain't supposed to have these kind of winters.
Right.
So no. So basically, yeah. Today's episode is basically relationships, getting into relationships, kind of all the things, the red flags, I guess, as you'd say.
Well, it's just kind of a full encompassment. We're gonna ask them about their story in the lifestyle and all that, and see all the fun places this interview takes us.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let me introduce you beautiful people to these fucking beautifully amazing fucking people. Holy shit. Charlie and Abbie.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Within the Pineapple podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited.
Yeah. Yo, so are we.
Yep.
Don't mind my chubby.
What? No, I'm used to it.
Well, I'm just saying, when you say excitement.
Yeah,
I
well,
know. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got y'all on. It took a little bit.
It did.
Now, Abbie, you were actually the one that reached out to me about the suggestion of this episode.
Yeah, I did. I feel like most lifestyle resources kind of cater to established couples who decide to do this together. And you really don't see a lot about people who meet in the lifestyle or meet dating non-monogamously and what that looks like. So
no, you're right. So
I was going to say that probably definitely brings about a whole lot of different questions and different dynamics at play of like, how do you navigate that as a new couple trying to focus on your own romance and still do the lifestyle stuff?
No, 100%. Like I said. And yeah, so when you brought it up to me, I was like, dude, holy shit, that's a fucking amazing job. First thing I was like, Paul, hey, look, we got to do an episode on this. She hit the nail on the head. And then I was like, hey, I want to try to get them brought into it. You know what I'm saying? And it was a matter of timing and stuff. But before we get carried away, why don't you two tell us a little bit about who you are, your dynamics, kind of how you got here as in together?
do you want to start or should I?
No, you go first.
So, I have been in the lifestyle going on about 6 years now. I got into it with my ex-husband, and we kind of were the standard, like, I realized in my mid-30s I like girls, so hey, let's have some threesomes. That was, kind of the thing, like a lot of people.
I would say, yeah,
that's pretty
definitely.
standard,
trope.
right?
Yeah, it is a very common trope, right?
And it, like all lifestyle things do, it kind of evolved and went, different directions. And we did end up, my ex and I did end up eventually dating separately. And then we ended up splitting up, not really related to that necessarily. And then when I was now this single divorcee,
I love that. She said divorcee.
Like,
we.
I called it my hot girl summer because, I got married very, very young and was dating for the first time really ever. But I met Charlie on Field, which is a, kinky, non-monogamous kind of dating app.
Okay.
And it just kind of went from there. It was funny because I told him, listen, I am newly single. I've done the relationship thing. This is just fucking. I don't want any feelings.
So wait a minute. So you started off with your ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
no longer in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then for there, you just kind of wilded out and did you for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then you actually had another relationship.
I did. Yes, I was kind of transitionally because I had started the relationship while I was still with my ex-husband, and I was actually part of a throuple for a little while. And that also ended right before I met Charlie. So that was a different experience too.
Right,
that's a very different.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We have the total spectrum between the two of you.
Yeah. So I was the third to a married couple.
We
so I've
definitely
kind of
have
done.
questions.
I've done a little bit of everything. I've been, the wife in a couple. I've been the third to a couple. I've been the girlfriend in like a poly kind of hinge. Because when we met, he was married to someone else. But they dated completely separately. So, I know his wife, we get along fine, but it wasn't, a relationship. So.
Okay.
But then you went through your unicorn phase.
I
for
did.
A while.
Yes. I was, the unicorn phase was like through the throuple and then, when
Yeah, I
we
was going to
first
say, because
met,
the throuple kind of ended.
Uh-huh.
And then you were a unicorn for a
Yep.
while.
I was for about 6 months. That was the hot girl summer. That
Oh,
was
okay. That was the hot girl
It's a long
Hot
summer.
girl summer. It was a long summer. I had to get it out of my system. So
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, and then you ended up, then now it's you and Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so before we take that any further, because like I said, there's a whole
There's
lot
a lot
there
to talk
pack,
about.
and we haven't even started with the two of y'all yet.
Uh-huh.
But now Charlie,
Yeah.
now you actually have your own kind of very unique experience. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got, how long you've been in the lifestyle?
Sure. It's probably 3 years now. And I came from a different end of the spectrum. We talk about E&M as a spectrum.
Oh, 100%.
So Abbie was more, I don't want to speak for you.
More
but
swinging.
yeah, I would say more on the swinging end. I was more on the poly relationship end. So my wife and I, we had just like most couples that get into the lifestyle, they think, I'm going to find a couple, another couple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to find they're going to be super good looking and everybody's going to click and it's just going to be, we're just going to get along and go bowling and then have sex and,
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's a dream, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like,
It's just hard to find.
No, extremely. That's,
Yeah, I would
that's
say
kind of
that-
me and face vibes. So,
Right, yeah.
and that is very difficult.
Right. So we learned quickly after about 6 months of frustration that wasn't going to happen, especially here in this part of the country.
The Bible
in
Belt?
the Bible. Yeah.
Man, we
Yeah.
got a lot of clubs, though.
It does. Yeah.
do.
So going back to your project, I didn't realize that Tennessee has the most lifestyle clubs of any state.
Per capita.
Well,
just about.
yeah.
Per capita, yes.
But yeah.
We are definitely competing in like the top 5.
Right. So
Swinger events.
So do that. Take that as you will. Mix religious repression with the inevitable outcome. Anyway. So after 6 months of trying to find this magical relationship that is, I'm not. Some people find it. We didn't. So we decided we were going to date separately. And I quickly learned that I don't like sex with random people. So I'm very much the antithesis of swinging, which presents its own challenges. Because it, at least to me, it seems like the swinger end of the spectrum and the poly end of the spectrum don't generally jive.
There can be overlap in certain respects, but yeah, they are definitely their own thing.
Oh
Yeah.
I
I was gonna say there's definitely some overlap, but at the same time, yeah, they're definitely like he's like
sure.
you're
And
all
then you
saying.
mix in the third. There's obviously, I mean, for the other nerds on the listening
Hey,
end,
we love nerds,
right? You take your Venn diagrams, right? So you take your swinging, your poly, and your kink, and there's always overlap. But
That person in the middle is awesome.
yes, yeah. If you meet all three of those criteria, Abby, raise her hand. Yes,
There we go.
yes, please. So yeah, with some mixed results, dating, single. Like my wife and I dated separately for the most part. I mean, there were occasional couple dates, but that usually didn't end well for one reason or another.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
She's much better. I somehow outkicked my coverage several times in my life, but I'll take it.
I don't know, man. You kind of got all the things going on here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you're built insanely well. You know what I mean?
Handsome dude, man.
Right. I mean,
How
you're
do
good
you?
looking. There you go.
Back at you,
would
Paul.
I.
You're a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very much in fit. Obviously, you take care of yourself. You know what I mean? So, don't sell yourself short.
Well, I don't know. This is a bit of a side tangent, but for those guys out there listening, I like to call it being lost in the sea of dicks. And the dating apps are definitely not designed. They're not. They're designed to make money, right? They're not designed to produce results, right? So
That's fair.
and I know the women out there listening. You get your 100 DMs with dick pics a day, from creepy fucks that can't hold a conversation, and then the rest of you guys, and it's kind of your own fault. You click on every girl that you could possibly click on, because it's a numbers game, and so nobody wins in that scenario. So regardless of how I look or how I am, like being in the online world is a bit of a lost cause in my opinion. So jumping ahead to, yes, Abby and I have been together almost 3 years now. And with her, like, because our I'm getting off on a topic here.
No, you're good.
So she primarily is searching for a lady friend. So finding, and that's another thing in the swinging world. I might let you speak to that a little bit, but yeah. So
Finish your thought.
What?
I said, finish your thought. We'll get to it.
So, if you're speaking strictly in the swinger community, it's mostly couples. You have the occasional unicorn, which they call them a unicorn for a reason, and then you have single guys. And I don't want to stereotype, but if a guy's in his 40s and single, never been married, you got to wonder, okay, why?
That's a fair question. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what women are thinking. You know what I mean? I mean, just being real.
Yeah. So
No knock to them.
no, I mean, whatever, shoot your shot. But so with Abby looking for a female companion, and the swinging world predominantly being couples, established couples, so there's always a quid pro quo kind of expectation. So Abby not wanting to play with men, we get into some weird situations where even if you're explicit with, okay, Abby doesn't want to play with your male partner, you get down to brass tacks, and then the guy gets upset because Abby's like, no, really, I don't want your dick. I want your wife or your girlfriend. So it's been a challenge.
Well, Abby, you're also a little bit of a cuck queen too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, I am. I am. That's something that hasn't happened a whole lot because he is more he doesn't need like big romantic relationship, but he likes, some level of emotional connection.
He needs a solid connection.
Yeah. He's
Just
not
tell me I'm pretty.
yeah.
Oh, you're definitely pretty.
Yeah, but you're not a girl. So
Oh, but I'm batting my eyes.
okay, I'll close. Can maybe if I squint? Okay.
I might have like a wig and some lipstick in the car.
Hey, we can make this happen.
So
You have that in your car? Okay, well, I've got questions for later.
Whoa, but yeah, suddenly
It's not a no. It's not a no. I'm just curious. Okay, continue.
now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Sorry.
Cut queen.
Cut queen.
Ah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
So yeah,
Paul, keep us on track.
yeah, I always say I'm a giant perv. Like I'm very much like a voyeur, an exhibitionist, I know how good he is at what he does and I like watching him do it with other people. It's something we've done a little bit, but not a ton. And I'm not really, there's not really a good, when you talk with the genders reversed, it's hot wife instead of, but there's not, I guess hot husband is kind of a thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I'm not really into like the degradation or that typically comes with cuckolding. I just like watching him work. So
like an ultimate scenario is like Charlie's over here with another woman. They're doing some things, and you're kind of standing in the doorway. You walk in, and then you all three join, and
that would be great.
It's a good old time.
That would be great. I also have said one of my dream scenarios is like a couple that's cool with me and him not doing stuff, and like his wife is bi, and so me and her, and the three of them can all go at it, and I'll just sit in the corner and watch because I'll have a great time doing that.
Not watch. What's the term you use?
I say I'll DJ in the corner.
DJ.
So
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. For those
hopefully
of
my
you
mother
didn't
never
get-
listens to this
Oh
podcast.
God.
But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, we're not really your traditional swinging couple even now. We love the parties and the events, and we're big fans of secrets, but we don't really follow the standard
Yeah.
kind of scenario. Because for me, I realized, so going back a little bit,
Mhm.
when we really became like a couple and we were like, okay, this is a thing, this is a relationship, it changed the dynamic. And, my hot girl summer, I didn't really want to do it anymore. But also when you develop big feelings for somebody, that stuff starts getting complicated. So we took a big step back because we had some not great experiences.
Well, I was going to say, not to cut you off,
Mhm.
but now you were saying, now we talked about, kind of how you got into it, what you're
Mhm.
looking for.
Mhm.
And then, of course, Charlie, kind of how he got into it, what he was looking for.
Mhm.
But we didn't really say, so the two of y'all got together then. Charlie, you have a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Polly started dating.
Mhm.
And then, of course, you were single at the time. You
Yep.
were a unicorn.
Yes,
So now, then y'all started dating, and then that kind of got serious.
it did. It did.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what you're referring to as far as things
Mhm.
started to kind of change.
Yeah.
As far as your dynamics go, correct?
Right. They did.
Okay.
Because the best way to describe it is Charlie was very concerned about he didn't want to hold me back or ruin my fun. And, that was very sweet. But so his initial response was to try to like jump in head first with me. And, that's not generally the best way to move into like the full swinging. You kind of got to ease into it at people's comfort levels. So we had some
Mm-hmm.
mishaps.
Yeah.
Had some mishaps, and then we went, okay, we're going to take a big step back.
Anything you want to tell us about? No names, just situations.
Well, just you don't realize what you think you're ready. So here's the as a man, right? You assume, because I hadn't dated for almost 20 years. So you remember back to 25-year-old Charlie, and you're like, you would fuck anything. You're like, okay. And you didn't care. Like, I didn't have to, you could pick up a girl at a bar. Not that I could. I went to a nerd school and I'm a nerd, but, theoretically, 25-year-old Charlie could do that. And then fast forward 20 years and you try to do the same thing you did when you're 25 and you realize you can't do that, and B, you don't want that. So yeah, we tried. in my mind, okay, so one example's we have some good friends. We're still good friends, and we thought, why not? Because this would be my first full swap kind of experience with someone else, because my wife and I never did that together, really, at least not with a couple. There were some threesome kind of scenarios, but even those were pretty limited. And so we tried it, and I realized I was not ready for that. Yeah, so that's her referred.
Pushed your boundaries a little too far.
Yeah. And I regret that, because the back then, because those people we spent the time with, they thought they did something wrong. They for a while there, they kind of I won't say they avoided us, but they didn't know how to, when something goes sideways, you don't really know how to
address it,
to interact with those people, right? And especially because we care about each other. You don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. You want to give them space, whatever they need. And I feel bad, because in retrospect, had I been ready, it would have been great, because they are great. But I wasn't ready, and I didn't realize it, and so I kind of fucked all of that up for everybody, because I wasn't. You think 25-year-old Charlie is sitting on one, the devil on one shoulder.
Right.
You're like, come on, man, just do it. There's a hot chick there, and the guy's gonna fuck it's awesome. And then you start, and you're like, and then the other Charlie's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not ready for this. Go back and read a comic book, nerd. Yeah. So.
No, I think that's actually really valuable insight, because sometimes you think you're ready for things, and you get in the situation and realize you're not, and then trying to figure out how to navigate that at that point, and especially if you're actually good friends with the other people.
And we still are, to be clear. Like, it's all, everything is great there. It just made things awkward for a couple months.
Yeah. So, if you know who you are, I'm sorry.
But, and for us, our communication has always been really, really good. Like that, I think, is one of our strongest points in our relationship, is we're really good at talking through things. And sometimes it takes a day or two to kind of sift through things, but we're good at pinpointing like what the emotions are and what the triggers are and talking through. And I mean, you have to be able to do that with lifestyle stuff. Like, that's so important.
No, you're absolutely right. Paul, we've said
absolutely.
numerous times, communication.
Yeah. Communication is critical, and then also, as much as it might suck, I would say in the moment, is if you realize you're having an issue, putting the brakes on and not taking one for the team in the moment, just because even though you think you wanted it, and then just like, let's go through it. Oh shit, and then it starts to like fall apart into a big mess.
Yeah.
Being like, whoa, not quite here. Shit, sorry guys, I need a minute. You know?
And the lifestyle, we find ourselves in a lot of interesting situations that you may or may not, you may think you're ready for, but when you're there, you may not be.
Well, it just comes down to make sure you communicate, make sure you take things at your own pace. This isn't a race. This is a marathon. At the end of the day.
Exactly.
You're going to get to where you're going. You don't have to be the first one across the finish line, because we're all headed there to wherever it is, where our destination is, and
take your time and
enjoy the ride. Exactly.
The one thing I would add is, and this is hard in general, not just lifestyle stuff, is to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You like 25-year-old Charlie, full of machismo. He's a dumbass. So, being introspective and saying, or even trying to anticipate that, okay, maybe I'm not ready, or maybe I'm uncomfortable. I know because what's funny is I've learned in the 3 years I've been doing this, mostly what I don't want. I'm still trying to figure out what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want.
And sometimes that's just as good as finding out what you want.
Yeah.
At least you know what you don't want and what to avoid,
Yeah, and that's, Abbie.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, Abbie made the reference to that, not trying to hold her back, and just so a lot of that folly was trying to give her what I thought that's the other funny part is I thought I was giving her what she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not really what she wanted. And we if we had just talked about that ahead of time,
Yep.
we might have been able to avoid some of that.
But you learn. That's
Yes.
that's the thing. All of this is you learn, and as you're learning, you get closer and you work through things. And I tell everybody, like, my favorite thing about the lifestyle is it doesn't have to be. There's not like this is what it looks like. It can be whatever works for you and your partner or partners or you by yourself. Whatever it can be, whatever works. And as long as you guys are doing it with good communication and you're not hurt feelings, then it's great.
Yeah, there's no gold standard.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
your standard.
Yeah, and sometimes I talk to newer people and they're like, "Well, I just don't know when we're going to be ready to swap." And I'm like, "You don't ever have to do that."
No.
Yeah,
You
see,
don't
I
have
didn't
to do
learn that.
anything.
That's the.
You learned that one the hard way.
Yeah. So
He thought it was like goalposts, like you have
No.
to.
well, okay. So going back to I one of the other reasons I got into the lifestyles because I realized that I'm bi in some flavor, but I always thought being attracted to men was one or the other. Like because I am traditionally attracted to women in a big way, but I'm not generally attracted to men in the same way. Like I don't want to kiss them. I don't want to cuddle them. I just want the Abby jokes because she wants the penis part. So we both,
I think that
we both, right. But I didn't know that. So, I always felt like there was something wrong with me. I'm like, I'm not attracted to that guy, but when I see his dick, I'm like, I get excited. So you're like, so what am I? So, being the nerd that I am, I always thought everything was black and white. And so same thing with the lifestyle stuff. So
we're more shades of gray in this world.
Yeah.
Black and
And
white.
I think that classification would be more hetero-romantic and more bisexual.
Yep.
So, because like you're going to go on a date with a woman, you're going to kiss a woman, you're going to cuddle a woman, but then there's just the dick, and that's for fun.
Well, I don't know, whatever you can. It gets muddy because if I had a friend that I'm the classic nerd stuff. Let's go fix your car.
Yeah.
Like the what's the AI generated country song? I'm not gay, but I do gay stuff. Like that's me. Like let's fix your engine and then suck each other's dick. Like, right? That's that's not gay. We're just doing gay stuff. So, but I didn't realize that you joke about it, but like legit, like I didn't realize that was a thing. Like there was this spectrum. So it comes to the lifestyle stuff. I thought, as a swinger, like that's what you do. You have a girl, like and that's part of it. No offense to the swinging community, because I'm gonna make a gross generalization here, but it's like and we talk about this too. This is a bit of a side tangent, but it just seems like the men in the lifestyle, like the women, and I'm biased, obviously. The women, no matter how old they get, they're gorgeous, right? The women seem to take care of themselves, and the men just like once they get past 30, it's just so that there's a bit of
a cliff. We just fall right off.
You said it, not me, but there's I will say there is a mismatch in the attractiveness of a lot of couples in the lifestyle. So,
baby, I'm sorry. I know you're listening. I apologize.
Not all couples, just a lot of couples.
Yeah, Mrs. David, if you're out there listening, yeah.
My bad.
You're prettier than David is.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, she is.
Oh my God! I said, my God, yeah.
I mean, David's all right.
I mean, she's gorgeous. I'm not. We don't have to
awesome.
look, dude. We don't have
We
to
love
make
you,
a
David.
comparison. She is
It's
fantastic.
great. I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I got off topic there. But,
Anyways,
Hey, the thoughts of
Back
fate
on task.
distract me too. Don't
yeah,
feel bad.
Yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh, so the generalization I make with swinging is, I am ugly man, I have pretty girl. You are also ugly man, but I have pretty girl too. Let's trade. It's like So I somehow let's say I met pretty girl when I was also pretty when I'm 25. Now we are 50. She is still pretty. I am not. So I am going to trade this thing that I collected back when I was 25, because otherwise you put me out on the open market and I'm fucked, right? I'm definitely paying for sex because not going to happen. So I don't know. There's just something icky about that to me.
Oh God, I'm dying.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
I'm never going to be allowed anywhere. So hopefully, I should have used an alias.
I just pictured two cavemen, you know what I mean, all busted.
Well,
up,
that's why I used the
dragging
simplistic.
Clubs,
Yeah.
dragging women, you
Right.
know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Unga bunga, unga bunga.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, we have all met that couple, though.
right. So anyway, so back to that previous discussion about how Abby doesn't want to play with your unattractive 50-year-old person. You know, she wants the pretty thing that you collected when you're 25. So you go away. Which, okay, to be, just to be fair, I am 100% okay with holding the purses while the pretty girls go at it.
He has done that a few times, in fact.
So me and Ugly Man, we can go, play pool or something, and that's not a
beer and
euphemism.
watch.
What?
Grab a beer and watch.
Right, but that's
done
where
that too.
that's where shit gets weird. Like,
Yeah.
Right, I'm like, I'm
You gotta get
failing
one of those
to
stanchions
see.
to put up between you, like they have like at the airport.
Yeah.
that's
so
actually.
it's like you
That's a
guys
good
are
idea.
behind it, and
That's
it's
a good
like, no, we
idea.
have to stay over here.
Did they
when we
make a
watch.
collapsible one that you can like carry
sure
I'll
with
they
look
do.
into it.
Fuck
I'll look
yeah.
into it. 'Cause
I'm,
that'll be
I'm
a thing.
saying
It's
I'm
behind the
really
line.
failing to see the difficulty and sexy woman doing sexy things and just
Right, but-
enjoying
okay.
the
You know,
moment.
but there's a lot of guys that just can't stay out of it when that starts happening.
Well, then they
Look,
can touch
you guys
themselves and each
remember-
other. Go for it.
You
Whatever.
guys remember that?
right? I mean, hey, if that's their jam, hey, right?
Right?
Hey, we do not discriminate. We don't judge. It's hey, you do
You remember the trailer party, the trailer party,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So you remember
RV
when,
party.
when the girls.
I do.
So when the girls went into the RV to do their thing solo, you and I were fine because we're used to that.
I was dicking off with a night vision that the host
Oh,
of the
that's right.
party
You
was-
weren't even there.
Yeah, I was like looking off.
You're
at the
like
stars
staring
and
off.
shit.
Somewhere
You're
else.
staring off at the moon, like
Paula-
the
Paula's-
moon's so fucking bright.
It was cool.
No, what? Okay, to be fair, it was cool. Anyway, like the rest of the men were the rest of the men are losing their fucking minds. They're like, these girls are in there doing. I don't know what they're doing, but we're not in there. We got to get in there to see what they're doing. And they're looking at me. They're like, does this happen all the time? And
Sometimes.
I was like, well, yeah.
I do have a tendency to start those kinds of things.
That was a fun party though, because
It was a fun-
eventually it's like all the
Eventually,
guys,
everybody all ended
they're
up
like,
in
hey,
there.
we're all getting invited back in. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Down
I
to the
know,
night
but
vision
up
we
until
go.
that point, like people didn't know how
Right.
to handle it. And I'm used to, like Abby said, I'm used to her just going off and being
doing her thing.
doing mischievous little vixen that she is. But, so that's the struggle we have is, whether the girls can be going at it and the guy's like, okay, when do I get to fuck Abby? And okay, well, never. Not now, not ever. So then they get upset and
Yeah.
then we're not allowed back at that, at Chili's anymore. But
That's okay. We got much better places for y'all to party
Than Chili's.
the
than
two
Chili's. Yeah,
the 2 for $20 at Applebee's has a completely different meaning now.
you're right.
Yeah. Or is it 25? I mean,
Yeah, I think it's up to 25.
Fucking
Inflation.
inflation.
Inflation,
God.
right? Yeah,
All I want is some potato skins and watch 2 girls go at it. you know?
right. Wait, is that so much to ask for?
No, this is America, damn it.
Right. At least
Yeah.
it should
Used
be.
to mean something.
Right? Yeah.
I can't with you.
What? Oh, right.
Oh man, yeah. So, whew, that was a lot.
Sorry.
So-
To ramble.
So I think we're actually going to go ahead and take 5. We're going to get back to some more fun, interesting things with Abby and Charlie here in just a moment. Back in a bit.
Hey, and welcome back, everybody. So kind of getting where we were
Back into the swing of things.
back of the swing of things. Dun-dun-dun. So we got to know a little bit about you two beautiful people,
Mhm.
kind of your backstories, kind of some of the fun times,
Yeah.
not so fun times,
Yeah.
awkward, maybe awkward.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So what kind of hurdles? So y'all's. So the dynamics have greatly changed a little bit from the relationship. Things have gotten into a more serious tone with y'all,
hmm
right?
Yeah, as far as our relationship together, yes. Do you want to explain, or do you want me to explain?
No, it's your turn. I've
it's my
rambled
turn.
on.
I get to talk now.
Yeah.
So Charlie is in the process of a divorce now. And so we are kind of each other's primary person now.
Okay.
And we,
Again, full spectrum.
yep, full spectrum. Mhm.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. And we both do some dating on the side. I am not great at dating. So I do less of it. I am more the party girl, find a hookup at a party kind of girl.
I feel that.
Yeah, and he's more, he likes to get to know somebody and all of that. So we kind of have found our rhythm and what works for us. And it's working out really well.
Mm-hmm.
So
what kind of hurdles, what kind of troubles, what kind of problems, do's and don'ts, all the things?
Like currently or just in general?
Well, both. Kind of some of what has been some of the biggest, I don't want to say pitfalls, but some of the kind of the biggest hurdles that you've had to navigate as far as dating. Like we talked about communication.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing is you kind of don't know what's going to be a problem until it is. You don't
for sure.
know. You think, like he was saying earlier, you think you're ready and you think and even doing this a while, sometimes there's things where I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine, go do that, great, have a wonderful time, and then I'm like, after it's happened, I'm like, ooh, I'm having some weird feelings about this,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's been some things that either one of us has done, and afterwards we've kind of talked through and gone, okay, we're going to take that one off the rotation. There's been some things that I was like, hey, I kind of thought that I might feel weird about this, but this is amazing, great, have a great time. And you just kind of, you think you can prepare, and I'm very much an overthinker. So a lot of times when a situation comes up, I will sit and think about, okay, if I, if this happens, how do I feel about watching him fuck somebody else? How do I feel about watching him kiss somebody else? How do I feel about him going on a date with somebody else and knowing those things have happened? And, you kind of find, it kind of for me, it helps me figure out what are my trigger points and what are my, what's going to make me feel weird. Because sometimes there are things. He tends to have, his triggers tend to be more physical kind of things, and mine tend to be more emotional kind of things. So, he brought up going for a weekend to Gatlinburg with somebody, and I was like, whoa, we go to Gatlinburg. You can't take somebody else to Gatlinburg.
Gotcha. Okay.
You can take them somewhere else. You can't take them to Gatlinburg. That's our thing.
Yep.
So it's just, you kind of have to work through and figure out what your
Damn it,
exact
Paul, we're
things
not
are.
going to Gatlinburg.
It's overrated anyway.
I mean,
Agreed.
Let's go to Miami.
Hell yeah.
and I
Actually,
had-
this time of year.
yeah.
Right. Screw this ice.
That would be better than what's going on here. So yeah, it's a lot of talking, and it's a lot of flexibility, I think, is the best. You kind of work through and grow and just you figure it out. It's not a very structured thing for us.
No, that's understandable. What's been so just dating in general, before you got to the point that y'all are at now, and of course there's still things y'all are going to be figuring out. I mean, that's basically all of us. You know what I mean? There's always even me and my faith. Yeah, me and
She's your
Faith.
faith.
I'm sure. Yeah, she is my faith. And then of course Paul and his lovely wife. There's always going to be those situations that you run into and growth. You know what I mean? Sometimes what you used to enjoy, you may not. Because again,
much,
because things evolve, and maybe you decide that you want to pursue more of a poly side, or maybe you're more poly, but you want to just I just want to wild out and just fuck some people. You know what I mean? But how did you get to that point as far as where y'all are at now? What's kind of some of the hurdles that not necessarily y'all faced with each other, but just in general, to the both of you, as far as trying to meet other people that are more
Accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
to kind of piggyback on kind of where he's at, okay, you find yourself single in the lifestyle and you're looking to go out and date.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you even start to find people that are going to be open-minded and,
Good question.
Yeah.
willing to accept that and be in, a budding relationship and navigating the lifestyle at the same time?
Well, for us, it was Field, which is an app. It's a dating app. None of them are great. If I were talking to somebody, if I was giving advice to like a newly single woman who wanted to try to do this, the apps are worth a try, but I have found the best overall by just plugging into a community where I can. I have a lot of friends now in the area that are swingers. You go to parties, you go to house parties, you kind of word of mouth. And especially a woman looking for a man, that really gives you vetting. You can see how this person behaves. You can find out, are there stories about them doing things? Are there, because word gets around.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It does.
So I think that finding someone is hard regardless, it's always shocking to me that we found each other because he was like, literally, I installed that dating app and he wasn't my first match, but he was the first person I went on a physical date with.
Oh, awesome.
Like 2 weeks after I installed the app. Like it was crazy. And it just went from there.
You know your people when you meet them. I've said that consistently.
And that's very much it. So it's a lot of it is kind of just luck, which really sucks, because you can't find that, you can't make that. But I really think, word of mouth, and if you're a good single person in the lifestyle, couples will tell people and they will recommend, hey, I have a friend, and I think that's a lot of it. When I know a single girl, I'm like, hey, I have the friend that's single. You want to and I that's the best way I would think to do it. So,
what do you think?
Yeah, so when we first started this, same thing. We had no idea. My brother actually and his wife were poly, and that was one of the reasons we decided to jump into this. Because I'm assuming most of the people listening to this are either in the lifestyle or at least comfortable or familiar in some way. But when you talk to the average person and that you tell them anything related to this,
yeah,
they think it's all cute.
They think you're one, they think you're batshit crazy. Like, so when my brother and his wife first told me that what they were doing, I said, I think in my head, literally, I said, you're batshit crazy. But you see them and they've been doing it for probably 10 years now. And, it works for them. So one, I would say this lifestyle does not work for everyone.
No,
so
definitely not.
And I see a lot of people get into this for the wrong reasons. You're trying to save a failed marriage or somebody cheated and a lot of times one partner, their sexuality is a little bit in flux, and, that's the shitty part about monogamy is, because honestly, for Abby and I, with her being, mostly gay,
mostly,
yeah. So if we were monogamous, that wouldn't work, right? So, and I, to some degree, I would be happy with just her, but I don't have the parts that she needs, to be happy. So this works for us, but it doesn't work for everybody. So sorry, I kind of went off. I didn't answer your question, but so the apps is where we started because you don't know. And it is, I would say it's a short-term gain. I learned a lot in those first 6 months. I probably went on 40 first dates. I learned one, I get catfished a lot. And okay, for people out there in the lifestyle that do this on apps, men and women, you're both guilty of it. Why the fuck are you posting pictures that are not representative of what you look like? Like if it's 10 years old or 50 pounds ago or
Or so filtered you can't even know
right?
what
Or
you look
you
like.
know,
but-
men used to have hair, you don't anymore. Like, you know, don't do that. Like, I don't understand why people show up. You show up for a first date, and this person doesn't look anything like. You know, and I don't know if people comment to your like. I am curious, genuinely curious, what your expectation is. Like, do you think this person's going to show up and because I know for some people like Abby, you know, personality can trump a lot of things. And
100%.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
no,
think
I
so,
don't.
too.
No,
No.
Really?
no, not at all. Like,
Okay, no, that's fair.
no, okay. If I'm not physically attracted to you, like we can be friends, but
Yeah.
there's no amount of personality that's going to make me want to have sex with you.
Okay.
So I don't get why someone would do that. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe most women or men think all I got to do is get them to the table and I'll charm the fuck out of them, and then they'll just we'll just do it like rabbits. But it's frustrating because you know I change my pictures regularly. I am what I am. You know, I'm balding. I'm very pale. You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
The last thing I want is to show up to a date and have a girl be disappointed and not me representing myself accurately.
Mhm.
So that's my struggle on the apps is
That's understandable, though. I mean, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think most people on some level, you need some kind of attraction, even on just a base level.
Even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I will say I've met a lot of beautiful people that may not typically be my
Type jam.
yeah. But after but it's one of them. You meet them, you're like, hey, and it's just you. There's a certain chemistry, I guess. You know what I mean?
sure, that's fair.
And that kind of the more you know them, the more
They grow on you.
yeah. And then suddenly, you know, they were I don't know, maybe a 5 or 6 on your scale, and now they're a 7 or 8. I don't fucking know. I'm probably a bad analogy, but
No, I get that, but
there's still that
You gotta have
a
something
level.
to
There's
start with.
something that
okay. So put that aside. So think about it. So if you're purely doing it on apps, and men,
That's
all the
kinda
men,
all
all
you've
the
got
men
to
listening to
work
this
on.
podcast
Yeah, that's
will
fair.
understand. It's not like I've got hundreds of women that I get to weed through, right? You're getting 1 or 2 matches a week
At best.
if you're lucky, right? So you know, in that rare instance when that person is attractive to you, you know, out of that, you know, if it's been 6 months since you've matched with someone that you're actually interested in, and then you show up for this date and they don't look like it. Like
Oh
it's,
yeah, no, I 100%
Yeah, that's gotta
agree
be
with
frustrating,
you.
so-
right.
That's
So
gotta be
yeah,
frustrating.
so that's what I'm getting at. Like I've met a lot of people in real life at parties and at you know, lifestyle clubs and secrets, you know, that I normally would not be attracted to. But like you said,
that doesn't come from an online thing.
Yeah,
That's an
that's
in
an-
person.
right. So that's my long way of saying
Yeah.
that the apps can get. It's a short term, like Abby said. If it's all you have, it's all you have.
Yeah.
But we have found that doing things in person, there's so many more benefits. Plus, it's just fun. Like just especially when there are no The other bad part about apps is there's a certain expectation. You show up for a date, and like if you don't like me physically, like I've had dates where I clicked with them personality wise. It was great. Like we would be besties, but I'm not attracted to you. But then you show up for the date and you're like, hey, you're great, but there's no romantic interest in there. Can we just be friends? And I would say 99% of the time, the answer is not no, but fuck you, you piece of shit. How dare you not be attracted to me?
Damn,
Yeah, no, she's seen some of the text
He gets
strings.
some interesting text
Damn.
messages.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's not like I'm perfect. So if a girl shows up and she's not attracted to me, but we have a lot of stuff in common, yeah, I'm going to be hurt, but it's not like I'm going to lash out. Like, yeah, let's stay connected. Like most of the girls I've dated, we're still friends to some degree. So that's kind of where
No, I mean I get and that's not really far off from like even couples though. You know what I'm saying? As far as you got to have that. There's some base level of attraction. You know, otherwise, yeah, it makes it difficult. And we've definitely seen the profiles online where they've grossly misrepresent themselves.
Yeah, I mean that definitely happens, and of course, kind of alluding to something you've said on a few prior episodes, the real unicorn, right, is the you're a couple and then you try to find another couple that everything perfectly vibes with. I think
connection.
even you guys mentioned talking about it earlier. Where everybody has that mutual everything, four people, perfect harmony. Oh, the angels sing, start singing and all that bullshit.
You build a compound.
Yeah, right. Sounds like the dream. Of course, that is the real unicorn, even more so than the single woman.
Yeah.
100%.
So what has been some of the I guess what has been some of the biggest, just dating in general in the lifestyle, what has been some of the biggest hurdles that the two of y'all have faced? I mean, of course, the catfishing, I get that. What are some other things that prior to y'all kind of finding each other when you're still trying to find each other that y'all have kind of came across?
Well, as a woman, the big one is always couples who want you to be a third. Or the sneaky. You get a lot of sneaky unicorn hunting if you're on like dating apps and things.
What's that?
So it'll be a profile that says it's a woman, a single woman, and then you start talking, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, I have a boyfriend or fiance or husband or whatever." And like I had one that specifically, like, we had been talking for about 2 weeks, and she was like, "By the way, I have a fiance and he knows, and this is fine. But anytime we have sex, he wants to be in the room. He doesn't have to have sex with you. He just wants to be in the room." And I'm like, why are you bringing, like, we've been talking for,
Right.
now you bring this up.
I feel like this is first date stuff here.
Or at least second, right?
Right. Not 2 weeks.
We hadn't met in person, but it was one of those, we couldn't, like, schedules weren't meshing, so we couldn't meet in person. So we'd been talking on, I think it was Snapchat or.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But I've had that happen many times where someone presents as a single woman, and then after a little bit of talking, it's actually a couple, and you're expected to be with both of them. Which, if that's your thing and that's what you want to do, great. But it's kind of another form of catfishing, really.
Yeah, it really
like
is.
you have to be honest, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I think
you're definitely not being honest.
You're not being, and that's the biggest thing in dating is you have to be honest. And as that's been something ongoing, as we date solo, is I'm very upfront. Like I have a boyfriend. We do this separately. I mean, occasionally we run into people who we do occasionally run across unicorns who want both of us, and we don't generally turn that down.
Here's the funny part. No, of course not.
But it's always their idea. We don't ask for it.
But here's the struggle. But because of the proclivity, so any of the single girls out here listening to this will know that because people lie and try to manipulate them so often, we always present ourselves, look, I have a female partner. If you're into her and not me, I don't exist. You can you can date her separately, whatever. We are not a package deal. They don't believe me.
No.
They think that I'm full of shit because
really?
everybody
it's
else.
Very common.
Yeah.
Everybody else will say it, pay lip service to it, but then at the end of the day,
and then boom, I pop out of the closet with a boner. Okay, good
and a video
ladies.
camera.
Right.
It's basically that.
Damn.
I was talking to a woman recently, and she was telling me how she's a full-on lesbian, like no men at all.
Okay.
She was on a date
Gold
with.
star?
Yeah, no, she's not a gold star. But she was on a date with a woman, and they were at a bar. And as they were leaving, she was kissing her out in the parking lot. And these girls came up and they were like, "Hey, there's this man sitting in this car, and he's just staring at you guys. And we just want to let you know because it's kind of weird, and it's kind of late, so we just want to let you know so you can be safe." And so they got secure. Like the girls went and got. The girls who told them that went and got security, and come to find out it was the woman's husband that the girl I know was on a date with. It was her husband who she didn't even know there was a husband, and he was waiting in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he about got his ass kicked by a bouncer because they thought he was a creep. I mean, he kind of was a creep.
Yeah, but they were in cahoots.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I was to say that's one of those.
Yeah,
That's.
So yeah, he liked to watch her with other women. So he was just sitting in the car watching his wife like make out in front of a bar.
I'd definitely say that's creepy.
That
I mean, it's one thing. Like, I mean, if everybody knew,
yes, consent.
that what's creepy about that. I mean, now obviously there's going to be a lot of things we do that the vanillas are going to find creepy.
Sure. Right. But that's
hedonism
non-consensual.
and every fucking thing else, right? But amongst us lifestyle, it's like
There's a line.
That's your thing, you know.
Yeah.
But as long as everyone's being upfront about it,
Yeah.
I would say, now our biggest struggle is if her trying to date women.
Catfishing.
Well,
and just people not being honest.
No, I would just her trying to find women, and most women our age have a partner of some kind, and they don't want the two ladies to be separate. Like a guy will say, yeah, they can go do but they don't. And then, by extension, when we tell a girl that,
they're assuming the same thing.
They're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And so it's just so a lot of our dating is really me being her wingman, like trying to not be the creepy douchebag.
So it's kind of like the same problem, just in totally opposite. You're either on the giving end or the receiving end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as people have kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of catfish, kind of been disingenuous, not 100% honest, but then at the same time, everybody feels, because they're doing it, they just assume you're doing
Dishonesty
it.
hurts everyone. It's crazy.
I know. Imagine that, right?
Well, I kind of have to, I guess maybe just needing more clarification and understanding. So obviously, Abby, you kind of like more of the casual side of fun,
Right?
and
Yes.
whatnot. Charlie is more into a bit more of a
Connection.
connection, some sort of romantic
Yeah.
substance there.
Yeah.
So how does navigating that as kind of I guess let me back that up a little bit. Abby, are you also interested in more of that deeper connection thing too, or is it strictly the fun, let's have some good times?
I do lean more on the fun, let's have good times. I am a person with fairly limited social bandwidth. And the issue that I have run into in trying to like date women, like in a romantic capacity, is I just don't have a lot of time. And I'm not a person who likes to text all the time. And generally they want to text all the time, which is wonderful. A lot of people love that. It's not what I like to do. Like I do like Discord and stuff like that because I can pop in and out, but
no hurt feelings.
Right.
You drop off for a bit. Yeah.
Right. It's very hard for me to carry on continuous all the time texting with somebody.
Maybe I should just be your
You just like
social media
text
manager.
For me. Yeah. So, in a perfect world, I would love to have like a casual, regular person, but it's just, it's a hard thing to find.
Well,
so
I was going to say that I guess the follow-up question is, with Charlie being more poly-romantic leaning and you being more swinger romantic or swinger leaning, less romantic leaning.
Yep.
How do those two dynamics interplay in as far as going out and dating and mixing and mingling, both in more of a lifestyle like swinger aspect and in a poly aspect?
I can answer that. So when we do swingers types of situations, secrets, for example, I'm literally the wingman. In fact, so the last time we went, you want me to tell the story?
No, tell the story.
So this last time we went to Secrets, we stayed an extra night because getting a flight out was cheaper the next day, and like even paying the extra hotel. So
Secrets on Sunday night is nice because it's very quiet and chill.
And after like 4 straight days of shenanigans,
right? It's nice to just like lay.
Chill day ain't bad.
It's nice to just lay in the pool and relax.
So any of you that know Abby,
great.
like having sex in the double digits, like I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to die. But
what a hell of a way!
Right?
I would say, of all the things to take us out in this world, hey, that's
I'm not complaining. I'm just
Let's just say I need that extra day to soak in the hot tub.
right. So so it's Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon. It's like 9:00. All of our friends have gone home. We're flying out the next morning. So we're sore for reasons.
Yeah.
So it's a nice cool night. The hot tub is hot, and we're both really sore. And there's nobody in the hot tub. Like there's only like 10 people in the whole pool area. And so we get in the hot tub and we're enjoying it. And then I don't even it wasn't very long. Like maybe 5 minutes later, this couple gets in the pool. The wife is completely trashed, slurring. The husband is interesting. Like Abby and I are both nerds. He's talking about some kind of financial nerd talk. And, Abby and I are interested in this. And that's the other thing I struggle with in swinging type arrangements. It's like you show any interest in someone, like in someone in a conversational way, they take that as, oh, we're gonna have sex now. Like,
well, some people, yeah.
No, I have always like that seems to be way more prevalent. So the couple that he's talking nerd talk, she can barely hold a sentence, and then I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, another couple gets in, younger, more attractive couple, and we didn't know this, but they knew each other. So then the girl part of the couple her and Abby start to click and they start talking. And long story short, Abby picks this girl up and the poor guy.
She was actually a unicorn just there with a friend. Like it wasn't like husband, boyfriend. It was just a friend.
Yeah, but the guy and her had been playing, off and on for the whole 4 days that we were there. And so he just kind of slunk into I tried to engage him in conversation, but he just kind of slunk into the background and just kind of, okay, I'm going to let this happen. But so Abby convinces this girl to go back to the room with us. And they go at it. I'm just literally sitting on the couch, and
Eating popcorn?
No.
You might have been having a snack by that
I was
point.
going to say that.
I probably would.
I'd be like, shit, hold on. There's some damn
Yeah,
good
she was just
entertainment.
hanging out.
Yeah. And
Literally. Did it.
Yep. Well,
so Abby and this girl go to town, and eventually she invites me over, but I, did not have sex with her. And
it was the other girl's idea. Like I would have just, because that's always my thing. Like I don't want to pressure.
Yeah, I didn't want
people into those kind of
I know
situations.
what it's like because I see what Abby goes through with men. Like the last thing I'm going to do is insert myself, pun intended, into that situation.
Nice.
Like the girls are having a good time. I'm not going to be the douchebag that ruins it. So
Right.
I'm sitting on the couch. I'm not saying a word. I'm enjoying the show. Abby is in full predator mode because she loves to please women just like I do. And then probably after the third or fourth orgasm, the girl looks over at me and he's like, "Aren't you going to join us?" And I was like, and I looked at Abby and I was, the usual. You can't see this because we're on a podcast, but she's making a face. She makes this same shrug face, like okay. So yeah. So that anyway. So normally I don't play
Gotcha.
because. Again, in the lifestyle arrangements, if there's another guy involved, there's a quid pro quo expectation. And so I am not going to ruin that by trying to...
No, that's understandable, respectful too.
Right. So, I don't, because it's a swinging type thing, I generally, unless I've spent several days with you, getting to know you, I am not going to enjoy having sex with you anyway. So I just let them go at it. So in swinging situations, that's how we handle it.
He was also the bouncer once for a girl orgy in the fishbowl attempted. That was
Nice.
also a good time.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, there were so
He
many.
stood in the door.
There were so many creepy dudes that just started to walk in, and I was like, whoa,
Nope.
Yeah.
Where, like some guy, like we all know this because we've been doing this for a while, but like for some reason, men think, okay, these four girls are going at it.
They need help.
They need, they're
No, not necessarily. They're handling it quite well without you.
No, I know,
right?
because the people in this room are respectful individuals, but like so many of those guys, for some reason, think, oh, they're just silly women. They don't know how to have an orgasm. I'll show them.
I mean, a girl knows what a girl likes.
No, that's the funny part is they were just fine.
We
without,
were doing great.
So I probably had to send 3 or 4 young lads, on their way. And they were fully ready. I'm like, you're gonna have to take that somewhere else.
There's a hole in the wall.
Yeah, yeah,
There.
yep. In fact, you two buddies, you crossed swords already. Just
yeah. So that's what he usually does. Is
Nice,
he's usually
nice.
the wingman, bouncer, crowd control.
And
kind
in
of.
the rare occasion that a girl's into me and not Abby, she is the biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
But that almost never happens.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah, but
There was a recent situation.
Oh, yeah.
The enthusiasm on that one.
No. Okay. Do you want to explain that one? Or no?
No, we can. So there was a recent thing where we went on an exploratory date with another couple who were both bi, just as a kind of like, Charlie had met them previously a few years ago, and so they had kind of reconnected, and so we were like, well, let's go on a date, the 4 of us, and see how things go. And long story short, neither of them were interested in me. The girl, because I, in terms of grooming, am not totally bald. And that's a hard line for her.
Same.
I'm a neat and groomed, but not totally bald. And, some people just don't like any hair, and that's their thing. But that was her deal breaker. So he did a couple of,
That's an interesting deal breaker.
well,
I mean, neat, trimmed and neat, but that's
I like it fuzzy, honestly.
No, I
when
know you like
when it's
straight up
scorched
bush,
earth,
like,
a little piece of me dies. Like I'll still go to it, but like it's like
yeah.
Ah.
Paul's like 1960s, 1970s.
I'm down.
The bush is in.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
I don't care either. Like, I'll get it. I don't know.
Welcome to the.
I'm
I
all
would
up in
prefer
there.
it. Welcome to the jungle, then scorched earth.
Because then it's like a surprise. You're like, I
Right?
don't even know what's in
It's
there.
an adventure.
You're an explorer.
We are.
Yeah. Like that hat helmet thing with the light you had on earlier.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to borrow that for reasons.
So yeah, in that situation, and we did talk about that because rejection hurts, and when
And I was fully prepared to tell them to off.
yeah, and when it's rejection for a thing that you could change, you have that moment of, okay, do I go get a wax? Like what do I want to do here? And I had to kind of sit with that and decide where I wanted to go. And for me, the bottom line was, no, I am what I am, and that's what it is.
like it, love it, leave it.
Yeah,
matter.
and so we decided, we talked about it a bunch.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing with them on a few occasions. So, that's why it's hard to explain our dynamic because it can kind of go anywhere,
No. but
There's
it's
a
great
fluidness
though,
to
because-
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me that was I was much more interested in the girl, and I had not been with a couple like that solo ever. So it was
Okay.
kind of a
Bucket list.
not even
New
a bucket-
territory. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a test for myself. Can I do this? Because a lot of my struggles in the lifestyle have been mental.
Mhm.
It was like, can I do this? And I did. I proved, and it was fun. It was a good time. They're fun. I like them, but I found that being with a couple, it's more about pleasing the girl. Like that's the fun part. But you can only do that for so long, and then you want what?
You want yours too?
No, well, anyway, it just, yeah, I learned that. So when I'm with another couple, it's never about me. It's always going to be about them, about her, which is fun, but I don't know that I could do that on a relationship type basis. Like do that every time, because, yeah, eventually you would like to, to be able to get to the finish line. Because that's the thing is when I'm in those situations, I don't ever, like I can go on forever. And then well, Abby will tell you, I'll come home 2 hours later and
I reap the benefits.
yes.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
at least there's some light at the end of the tunnel and some cream filling.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, it's there's always there's no solution. There's no one solution to every problem. So.
No. So yeah.
So I guess the next big takeaway is going to be, or next big question to really ask is, what advice do you have to either singles in the lifestyle that are looking to go out and date other people in the lifestyle and establish those new connections and new relationships, and or exploring the dynamics between swinger lifestyle versus polyamory? I know it's a kind of a two-part question. Fast, rapid fire here.
I would say as far as exploring the swinger poly kind of in combination is you just really have to be open-minded. And I think you have to be willing to kind of divorce it a little bit from an us mentality and like have a little, be willing to give your partner a little more autonomy. And when you get into poly circles, there's a lot of argument about like hierarchy and non-hierarchy and couples privilege, and all those things are a real thing. But if you're trying to meld like swinging and poly, you kind of have to have some level of like, we are each other's home bases, but we have separate separate things we do outside of each other, separate orbits. Thank you. Yeah. And I think that can be a really healthy thing. I don't think couples necessarily have to be, completely melded. Everything is each other all the time, And for us, there's always some kind of reconnection after a date. It may not be sex, but it's always at minimum, a good cuddle session and a debrief and are we good? Is there anything we need to talk about? We're really good at check-ins. Those are very important. We do a lot of those. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is to be able to kind of unclench your grip on it a little bit.
And I guess it depends on whether you said a single person looking to date, and date is a different term for me than to explore something sexually.
Yeah, no, like actually finding romance in the lifestyle.
Okay, so if you're talking more building a relationship, I would say that's a very different approach, because with swinging, I would say the first thing I would do is find a Sherpa, find somebody or a couple that has experience that you're comfortable with, because I did this completely on my own. My only exposure to swinging was Abbie. And Abbie was at 11.
Hot girl summer.
And I was at the bottom. I had no idea what I was doing. And even though, I don't want to misrepresent, it's not like she pushed me to do anything. She was very, very much slow down, and there's 25-year-old Charlie on my shoulder again saying, well, Abbie wants to do all this crazy shit. Who are you to keep her from doing that? So let's try it. Yeah, and that didn't work. But
in fact, I was the one who said, okay, I'm going to take a break from all this for a while, and then we're going to focus on us. And we did. Probably 6 months. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We went to parties still.
Well, I was going to say, you said take a break, but a lot of people, when they take a break, they kind of just disappear for a while. But I was gonna say I don't think y'all actually took a break from
we took
the lifestyle,
right.
like from the social aspects.
Yeah, we stopped having sex with other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and he loves, he right away he was like, I love your friends. I love, because I have a whole community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were going to house parties, and he was getting to know my people. So it was kind of important to me that we stay plugged in. That was one of the things, was I said, I would like us to take a break. I would like to still go to parties because these are my people. I said, but let's stop trying to do anything with other people for a while. We did do some like public sex kind of things with each other in those scenarios, but we took at least 6 months.
So, where does jealousy come in all this?
There was some of that.
Yeah,
There was some of that.
because I mean,
too.
by and large, a lot of swingers, a lot of ethnical non-monogamy, whether it be poly or whatever, pretty open. You know, you kind of work past a lot of jealousy issues. However, you're talking for y'all are from a totally different spectrum of. Well, I'm single. I'm single-ish. You know what I mean? And you're trying to form a relationship. So I can see where there's certain hurdles as far as, like for example, like me and my wife, we've been together for a long time. You know what I mean? So going and doing the things, obviously, we face all the same things as anybody else, but.
But you have shared history, and
Right,
shared
we have
language
exactly. We have all those shared things together, so it's kind of like that learning curve's not as bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a steep learning curve, because you are building that relationship with that person, and also trying to figure out what you're comfortable sharing about them. Sharing what you're comfortable sharing of them with someone else. And there were times in the early days where both of us had some jealousy. There was a time that I went to the club solo, and, we had talked about it. He knew I was going to go, and he had some really big feelings about that afterwards. And there was a time where he was out of town and called me and said, "Hey, I matched with a girl. I'm going on a date." And I just started crying. Like, I was surprised by that,
Okay.
So it happens. And, all of that we work through. And
So the funny part is my what I've realized as far as jealousy goes is with women I have none. With men, and this goes back to the caveman discussion from earlier. We have met a few guys that I really like. So my struggle is I want a guy to be worthy of her, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely.
So the struggle we have is finding that couple. It's not that I am jealous, but it's not that I won't let her have sex with another guy. It's that there are so few guys that I think are worth having her.
And there's also so few guys that I'm really genuinely attracted to. That's another thing.
So
too.
we've met a couple. There's a couple at Secrets that we really like, and and we've played with a little bit. And remember last time, like I surprised myself. Like I thought I would be jealous and have some feels, but it was great. And we spent 4 days with them. We actually ended up somehow having rooms. Literally adjoining rooms, so we left the door open.
Oh
between.
shit!
That's awesome.
That's
Great.
cool.
And it was a blast, and I really look forward to seeing them. So that is my struggle is because there's so few guys that I think are worthy of Abbie. That
That's sweet, by the way. That is.
I don't know. I think maybe it's my own selfish narcissism, but
I mean, maybe there might be a little bit of that in there, but it's still that's just it's kind of it's a nice sentiment,
right. So if a tall, handsome, good-looking guy was interested in Abbie, and Abbie's like, yes, like that's one of the very few guys that I am attracted to. I would be her wingman for sure. It hasn't happened yet, really. Other than that, this couple, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, some of that sounds weird on the surface. Like,
No, it's
I'm only jealous of ugly guys, right? You're like, that's backwards. Like if a guy's super good looking with a giant dick, you're like, yep, have sex with my girlfriend. And most guys would be like, what?
well, I mean, I don't. Our community's a little special.
Maybe, yeah.
We're all just a little bit different.
You're right.
Well, that's what makes it fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's a good thing. Not a good thing, but you know what I'm saying as far as whatever.
Jesus, David.
I know.
You donkey fucked that one.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. No, I'm saying it's a good thing, kind of his take on things. It's like, hey, you need to be worthy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of them.
Well, it goes back, for me, it goes back to
Well, because you're
understanding
more under the poly side of things, and that caters to that, I think, a little
Yeah,
bit.
maybe, yeah.
Mhm.
But
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to just date anybody, so why would you fuck just anybody? From a mindset.
no, okay,
of
that's a good
of
point.
poly-
Mhm.
So I have always equated sex with love, and that makes it difficult
Oh,
to.
for sure. Yeah.
So, whereas Abby can very much compartmentalize
Completely
and
compartmentalize
just have
it.
fun. And I have tried, and sometimes I could disconnect to some level. Like when I'm with a couple, and Abby's not there, I can have sex. I don't care, but it's not the same for me as having one-on-one sex with a girl that I care about.
And it doesn't have to be like big romantic love. You just need
You're right.
You
Right.
just need a good connection.
good connection. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Whereas I don't even need to know somebody's name. I just. So
She's like, this ain't Cheers, and I don't care.
yeah, we've and that's why balancing it all out is
Yeah,
our
absolutely.
relationship looks very different from most.
So what has been what would you say kind of from both sides, like, so as from a poly side of things, what are some kind of red flags per se, like if you're interested in the the kind of the poly thing, but again, some people may seem that way or not seem that way, like, how does that work?
if someone is interested in exploring the poly end of the spectrum, is
Yeah.
that your question?
Yeah. What are some kind of, like, I guess, do's and don'ts, red flags, things you can, some of the tips you've learned along the way, or to look out for, that kind of thing?
Well, I guess it depends on whether you have a primary partner or not. So if you have a primary, you have to make sure your expectations are aligned, because Abby and I are not. Like, if we could find a girl or a couple that we could have live in our house and we grow our own crops and whatever, that would be great, but unlikely. So we have to be realistic about what each of us are going to be able to accomplish given our different styles.
Never say never.
I know.
Well, no,
I didn't say never. It's just very.
but also, I tell
Yeah.
people you can be picky and patient.
Can't be both.
But yeah, you can't say I'm only looking for this one thing and then be mad when you don't find it right away. You kind of gotta.
That's a good point. So that is
I mean,
there.
yeah.
You go. So for one, if you have a very specific thing you're looking for, it's going to take a while, unless you're super good looking and are in a huge community.
Lucky as fuck.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And there's still an element of luck.
I was like, well, we are in a big community.
Well, it depends. Like, we have found that, like, we started expanding our radius to outside of Middle Tennessee. So Chattanooga, Atlanta, tempted up in, what is that, Louisville?
Louisville, yeah.
And it that has helped. Because a lot of it, especially with Abby, being the nerds that we are, we did the math. Like, if you are a lesbian, poly, what was it? It was like when you add up all of
It's such a small percentage.
it's like 0.04% of the population. Whereas, if I'm a guy just looking for a girl who's okay with an open relationship, like, because effectively I'm still single. Like, Abby and I don't live together. I have kids, but I don't have them full time. So, and I've dated single girls. The pool I have to draw from is orders of magnitude larger than Abby's. So, I guess from a poly perspective is, like Abby said, be patient. Don't be afraid. Like, I went on a date with a girl and she was gorgeous and we clicked and I was like, finally I found somebody, but she's like, you're too far away. And we're like 45 minutes apart. I'm like, yeah. So David is making a face for those of you.
Yeah,
at
no,
home.
because it's like, right, we're like 45 minutes. Fuck, like, I swear to God, it seems like all our closest of people that me and Faith connect with are at least
Right.
An hour
Sure.
and a half.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That tends to be the more the thing. You're
Close
like,
ones, yeah.
right, you're like, why the fuck do you live way out in bumfucked Egypt? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
she lived closer to Nashville, and Abby and I, to be fair, live closer to bumfuck nowhere.
we
but
do.
but yeah, like it's and this girl's very pretty, so maybe she can do that. Like, she has the option. Like, if you're not within 15 minutes, you don't get to fuck me. So it was weird. So be willing to drive more than 15 minutes to find this partner. You're gonna have to be patient, and you have to be honest with yourself about what you want, because as you go, what I started out wanting or thought I want is very different now than it was 3 years ago. And some people, we meet couples that are very rigid. We have to do X, Y, Z or nothing at all, and then they get on Discord or somewhere, and they're like, why can't we find what we're looking for? Because they're giving nothing. They want everything on their list, but they're willing to compromise nothing.
Which can be an option, but it's going to make it.
Right. I
Take
mean, which is
longer.
fine.
It's gonna
If
take a long time.
I was going to say, if exactly what you want, well, yeah, you got to
And that's fine. I'm not saying that you should
compromise.
compromise. What I'm saying is,
You got to be patient if you do.
right,
If
you
don't
have
want
to have a realistic expectation. And that's where having a Sherpa comes in. Like, if you have somebody in the lifestyle and they're telling you, okay, you want, just for a very specific, non-real example, I want, or what's the classic when they ask single women what they want? They want a guy who's
6'5",
oh,
blue
no.
eyes, and finance.
Yeah, over 6 feet tall, makes $200,000 a year, is very good looking, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then you do the math. It's like 0.02% of the population. And to be fair, like, so, okay, that guy is what every girl wants. Are you a 10? Like, if you have to be realistic as a person. Right. Are
he
you
is 0.2 of your pool.
right, are you worth that?
But his pool
Is whatever the fuck he wants.
Right, but his pool is much larger.
Yeah.
So
Right,
it's
so-
what are you bringing to
Right.
the table?
So you have to be, again, you have to look at yourself and say, like, I would love to have a supermodel girlfriend, that is a Mensa grad and loves nerdy shit and wants to go to Comic-Con, and fix race cars. Good luck, right? But, even if that girl existed, why would she want me? Like, I'm not bad, but she can literally have any guy in the world. So you just have to be realistic about, where that match is.
No, that's fair. That's good advice. Very good advice.
Am I giving my advice now on the swinger side?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you kind of been through the things,
Been through all the things.
Yeah, like you talked about being part of a throuple.
I was part of throuple.
Any kind of red flags, like for those that are listening, and they, and that's both sides, for the couples that are looking for the third, and the third that's looking for the couple.
So I always tell couples when, because I do tell people, hey, I used to be a unicorn. Let me tell you some things. You need to really do some serious talking together, and figure out if you're ready, for one. And then, like he was saying, you need to understand that this is going to be a hard thing to find. If you are looking for someone who is equally interested in both of you,
Charlie's just laughing.
it might exist. It might, but it's probably going to be pretty hard to find.
So you're saying like a true throuple.
Yeah, like if you're wanting that true, and you also need to consider some things about, like, what does this girl get out of it, and not all of this is from my personal experience, but from what I've seen, I see a lot of couples that are like, well, she can only have sex with us, but she can only have sex with both of us together, but they're married to each other, so they can still have sex with each other whenever they want. And
that seems very restrictive.
Yes. I've seen some very, very, like, she's only ours and nobody else's. But we don't acknowledge her publicly because, we can't do that. We have a reputation.
Yeah, that just gives me all kinds of.
Yeah, but we see it all the time.
Yeah, especially.
No, I don't doubt it. I'm just saying that just.
Especially when you slide into the poly world, it gets even worse.
It gets that's a little cringy there.
Yeah.
I mean,
so my biggest advice to couples is to always think about, like, what are you offering this? Like, what unicorns have their pick of pretty much anybody. Like, think about what you are bringing to the table. And remember, like, not to make them, like, perfect, amazing. But they're the sought after thing. So treat them nicely.
No, that's fair.
Be good to them. And I always tell
Candlelight dinners for everybody.
yeah, there you go. And then I tell unicorns, be not to necessarily be super choosy, but don't do things you're uncomfortable with. I was lucky in that when I was doing my unicorning thing, the club that I was going to, I had lots of friends that worked there. So I knew that, they always had my back. And a couple of them specifically, like my rule was if I was playing with someone I had just met that night, the door had to stay open. And I would tell them that when they'd be like, hey, you want to go back to a room? And I'd be like, sure, but you have to leave the door open. Because, I just...
It's almost like a security comfort thing. I mean,
it was.
Yes, you're being very public with it, but you're still kind of private. People still have to come by and look. But to you, it gave you a sense of security that there are people watching.
Yes.
There is.
And there was one person specifically who worked there who would always come by and poke his head in the door and like give me thumbs up, thumbs down to check in up on me. He'd look at me and be like, "You good?" And
awesome.
Because I do know some unicorns with some horror stories of getting caught in some pretty horrific non-consensual situations. So my advice is always trust your gut. And I personally only did play at clubs with people. I only played it if I didn't know the couple. I would only play with them at a club. I didn't do like dates and going to their house. I stayed to public places.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Security. There's a security. It's
because
people are
unfortunately some
different
people
when
are
they're
terrible.
in public, when they're back behind the privacy of their home.
And swinging as a couple is different because there's two of you. But when it's just you've got to think a little differently. And the other thing that I always tell unicorns is always, always, always ask up front, like, what are your rules? Because that was very important to me, to respect whatever the couple's boundaries were. I would ask, like, what are you expecting? What are your rules? What am I not allowed to do? Because, sometimes there's rules about, like, you can't kiss my husband or you can't, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know up front because if you break a rule like mid, that's such an awkward thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, that's
kill a vibe real quick.
Yes, it does.
Don't tickle the butthole with a feather.
Don't do that.
I don't know.
Use your pinky.
Bullshit. Yes, there you go.
Got to test.
That begs the question,
test
Paul.
the water.
Do you just have a feather with you at all times? Because now I have to.
I gotta go look.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did you have? The wig and what was the other?
What all you keep in the car?
You had the. Yep.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. What's been your biggest red flag as far as on the poly side of things? What like have you ever like gotten into like people think they want to be poly, but they really didn't from the start? They were just trying to fuck, or is that even a thing? Or
no, I mean I'm sure that happens, but that my biggest struggle has been I'm very upfront with people about my situation, my relationship. And Abby has seen this happen. I guess it's happened twice now, where I have matched with someone, we have chatted for a while, we hit it off, and they want way more than I am able to give them.
Okay. So it's actually kind of, when it comes to poly, it's almost sometimes the opposite side. It's they want too much versus.
Yeah.
They're wanting more a monogamous relationship with him.
Gotcha.
Right. And a couple times is when it was a combination of things, because we talk and you exchange pictures and you meet and they don't look anything like their pictures, but they've already fallen for you, because don't know why, but don't laugh.
Well, there was one in particular that I think was just.
I know
it was boiling bunnies territory.
The funny thing is the whole
Damn.
time Abby could see the red flags, but I was just like, whatever. She's pretty in her pictures, and she thinks I'm pretty, so let's see what happens. But
we're so easily persuaded,
right?
Right.
Yeah, something shiny. Ooh, Ooh, yeah, let's
You
go.
think I'm pretty?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go in the dark, scary basement because there's some things. What could happen?
right.
Right. So yeah,
So the opposite of the advice I just gave.
Right. So I showed up.
right.
So that date did not go well, and then the next day I did the, and legit, like we had a lot in common. She was super fun, but I didn't want to have sex with her, and she didn't like that. So,
Give me that dick.
yeah. Oh, did you see this? No. No, but she sent me a long string of texts of hate and whatnot, which makes you, you kind of question your judgment. You're like, did I do something? Like, am I a horrible person? Like, why is she reacting this way? When I thought
right. I mean, rejection hurts, but it shouldn't.
Right.
Psycho.
So Abby's like, just don't respond.
He's had a few of those, and I'm like, yeah, you didn't say, because he'll show me. He'll be like, what happened? Like, this text seems nice, and she reacted, and I'm like, yeah, I would just leave that alone. So.
Yeah. So yeah, and I know some couples, especially poly couples, that only date other people that have partners, because I have dated, one of the girls I dated.
That's actually a pretty logical rule. Actually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Well,
it's good and bad. It's a double.
It's almost like a protection,
Mm-hmm.
almost maybe borderline insecurity, but also a protection of, hey, they're not going to want more than what we're going to want to give them, because this is my significant other.
Right.
That should be their significant other. And we can do the poly thing, but this is still my SO.
Right.
That's
That's
still your SO.
conceptually that is the idea. But again, it limits your pool of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So one girl in particular, we dated for a while, and she was amazing, but she wanted more than I could give her, and it just kind of ended badly. And I still feel bad to this day, because she's amazing and she deserved someone to make her happy, but I couldn't be that for her. And it's not like she came in that she had limited experience with E&M, with poly,
Okay.
and she fell in love, and that's the other thing, for those of you in the kind of the swinger end of the spectrum. I've actually had girls or people ask, well, what if I fall in love with you? And they say that as if it's a bad thing, right? Like, not me in particular, but the other person, and so in the poly realm, that's kind of what you want, right? You want those strong feelings with someone you could spend a lot of time with, whether that's your primary partner or not. But if you're not experienced with that, having strong feelings for more than one person, or sharing that person with another person while you have those strong feelings, is hard, because society trains everyone to, you can only love one person, you can only be romantic with one person, or there's something wrong with you. But the obvious counter analogy is, and maybe some of you do, but like, if you have kids or you have family, you don't love them differently. At least I don't. Maybe you have one kid that's a dick, but whatever.
No, I got you. That's fucking funny.
But so it's the same thing. Like, you can love. Like, I was married, for most of the time that Abby and I were together. I very much loved my wife, and I loved Abby, and it's not like there was a.
It's not a competition.
No, like I to this day, if things were different, I would be happy loving both of them till the day I died. But not everyone can do that.
Gotcha.
So that is the big, on the poly end, I think that's the biggest challenge, is managing love and strong feelings, and also being able to share that love with someone else who's not your person.
That's fair. That's
Love and expectations.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's shit. You said a whole lot. No, it was good. I mean, so, Paul, do you got anything?
No, I think that was an amazing interview. We definitely got some
Oh, it was
really
fucking great.
useful
I loved it.
insights. I think our listeners out there hopefully feel the same way.
Is there anything that either one of y'all would like to share? Any kind of last thoughts,
Final thoughts?
bit of advice, do's, don'ts, anything like that? Whether it be, poly, whether it be unicorn, whether it be some kind of variation therein.
I think just be open to what the possibilities are. Communicate with your partner if you have a partner, and just be flexible and willing to be on a journey.
So start yoga.
Yoga is good for lots of persons.
Yeah.
How about you, Charlie?
I'm pretty sure I've pissed off, everyone in every corner of the E&M spectrum. So,
Nah, no worse than I probably haven't done.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
So don't take it out on Abby. Just to give her a 5-minute head start
Give her a
before
5
you
minute.
before you do something to me.
No, no. I mean, I think it was great.
Well, thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
you guys
this
having
was
us
fun.
on.
Yeah,
No,
thank
no,
you
it
guys
was
for being
fucking
on the
awesome.
show.
Thanks for having coming on here, and Abby, thank you for the idea, bringing it forward.
You're welcome.
So I'm glad the two of y'all had both. I wasn't sure. Charlie, you're a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back. So I was like, I feel like Abby would. I don't know.
Abby's definitely the cool one.
I was
Yeah.
no. I mean, dude, you're awesome in your own ways.
That's
So
one way to put it.
so no, like I said, because you tend to be a little bit more.
I'm more reserved for sure. She's definitely the more outgoing.
So when it comes to getting onto a mic and talking to everybody, then it was kind of one of them. I don't know, but if I can get them both, fuck yes. Like,
it's all right. Paul can edit me out. So
Yo, edit you out, man. It's nice to have somebody else that's a little bit more like toned back a little bit on the show. You getting me? I'm usually
catching a
outnumbered.
side eye.
shots fired.
I'm usually outnumbered.
We do wild and wonderful.
Yeah,
here.
yin and yang. It's fine.
Right. Balance.
works.
It's all about balance.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've said that. I don't know how many times.
All right. Well, we had a blast.
Thank you
No.
again for being on.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. And then of course, Paul, check out our socials.
Yeah, check out the socials that haven't been updated since 1992. And
No, I was getting good.
Hey,
and
what's
then
your MySpace, Paul?
got-
God, anybody under 30 is going to be like, what?
what the fuck is
Yeah,
MySpace?
And they're going to, yeah.
I
they
actually
just
logged
they just
into
turned
it
it
a
off.
few years ago.
You still have it?
Yeah.
God,
I didn't know
you're
it was
my
still.
hero.
I didn't know it was still open. I technically still have an account.
totally-
but fuck, that was
like-
It's still
like
open?
decades
Yeah,
ago.
still think.
Oh, shit. Guess what I'm doing when I get home?
I think it was all music.
Well,
last
watch
year.
out,
Yeah,
ladies.
whatever
I'm going to update my theme song.
Hell yeah.
Top 8. But yeah,
No, we it's like anything. We
work on it when we can.
Yeah, we work on it when we can. But no, I mean definitely, of course, check out the website. If you got any comments, complaints,
emails,
even,
we actually check.
Yeah, those I'm really good at.
That actually gets looked at.
So no, I mean if there's any kind of suggestions or anything like that you would like to hear,
show topics, all that good stuff. We're
Yeah.
happy to get to that. And I believe, David, we have another fun episode coming up soon too. Whenever this one comes out.
yes. So no, that's actually at the top of our list.
Uh-huh.
We have another interview. One I've kind of worked on for like almost 2 years now.
Yeah, it's one you've been working on as well, which is scheduling bits and all that.
Well, no, I mean,
And things.
originally they weren't real keen on coming on the air, so it was one of them.
Yeah.
I think they didn't
Know what to expect.
know what to expect, and
Bad past experiences.
yes, absolutely. So it was one of them, and of course we were coming from a.
It was. You'll find out on the next show.
Yeah, I don't want to give
not
nothing
give it away.
away. Yeah, exactly. But it's something that we are super excited for what's coming, and of course, obviously, what we had tonight. You couldn't have gotten much fucking better.
So on that note,
Stay sexy.
Stay sexy.
Stay sexy.
stay sexy. Hey, folks. Hope you're enjoying the content you're hearing here on the program. If there is a topic that you would like to hear David and I cover, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out to us at withinthepineapple@gmail.com and let us know what you would like to hear here on the show. Thanks again for listening. The Within the Pineapple Podcast, a unique lifestyle perspective.